Today we're going to take a look at drawing our bracket 1 on Autodesk Inventor. This one is circular in shape, something that we haven't done before. It has 4 holes equally spaced going around the perimeter. And the things that we're going to be looking at today and working on is blueprint reading, 3D parametric solid modeling, designing with 3D CAD software, and something new for us, circular pattern sketch geometry, which is kind of cool. We'll show you how that works. To start off, we're going to start off with a circle that is 3.5 in diameter, and it has a thickness of 0.75 when we extrude it. So let's start. Going up to our ribbon bar in a new Inventor, we're going to click on New, Standard IPT, and click Create. We're going to go up to our ribbon bar in the far left-hand corner. We're going to click on the Drawing and the green plus mark, 2D Sketch. And as always, we're going to place it on our XY plane. And we're going to click Front in our World View Cube to zoom out. Next, we're going to come up to our ribbon bar, click Circle, use our Circle tool, and I'm going to bring my cursor down to my origin. When my cursor locks onto the origin, it turns green. Click and stretch out a right circle. This circle was 3.5 in diameter. Press Enter on the keyboard. Next, we're going to green check mark Finish Sketch and go home. Then we're going to extrude. We're going to extrude in the flip direction, which is the second direction here. And that distance was 0.75. Click OK. Next, let's take a 2D sketch. We're going to place it on our front view. We're going to use a point tool in order to locate this first hole that's up here in the top, kind of at the 12 o'clock position. These holes are going to be 0.35 in diameter. They go all the way through and they're equally spaced. So let's show you how to do that. I'm going to use my point tool from the create area of my ribbon bar. Click on point. And I'm going to place it right up at the top on my Y axis. Click to place it. Next, we need to dimension that. If we take a look at our drawing, we can see that this point is 1.38 inches up from the origin. So let's go back to our drawing. I'm going to dimension from my point, when it turns red, click, to my origin, when it turns red, click, and bring this dimension off to the right-hand side. This dimension was 1.38. Green check mark or Enter on the keyboard. Next, let's talk about circular pattern. Next to our dimension tool, there's a rectangular pattern and a circular pattern. We're going to use the circular pattern here today. Click on Circular Pattern tool. The first thing that it wants us to do is select our geometry. And today we're doing sketch geometry. So I'm going to click on my plus mark, my point tool that I placed. Next, coming over to my next pick tool, they want me to do the axis where I want it to rotate around. And for that, I'm going to come to the center of my part and I'm going to click on the origin. And by default, it gives me 6 holes coming around. I'm going to change that, according to mine, is going to be 4. And I do want them to rotate the full 360 degrees. And click OK. That puts my 4 points on there. Next, I'm going to green check mark Finish Sketch. Green check mark Finish Sketch. And now I'm going to use my Hole tool. So up in the top ribbon bar in the Modify area, I'm going to click on Hole. And it looks like things went a little bonkers and weird a little bit because the holes are like giant size. However, it remembers the last diameter that I typed in. So let's go through this menu. We're going to leave this for now. Everything's okay. If your holes do not automatically select though, you may have to come over and click each one of your plus marks or point tools in order for those holes to select and pick up. So let's take a look at our hole tool selection here. For the hole, we want to have a simple hole. We do not want any seat. Termination distance, we want it to go through all. And now we need to take and enter in our diameter. The diameter for these holes were 0.35. And you can see that looks much better now on our preview. Once we have that done, hole, simple hole, no seat, through all, and we have our diameter of 0.35 entered in. Click OK. That looks great. Next, we have this feature that comes off from the front of ours. It has a 1-inch hole in the middle of it, which we'll do with a point tool again. And the diameter of this outside circle here is 2 inches. So let's take care of that. Going back to my part, I'm going to take a 2D sketch, place it on my front view. Once again, I'm going to use my circle tool, start at my origin, click and stretch this circle out. This is a 2-inch diameter circle, so I'm going to type 2, press enter on the keyboard, and then go up to the top, ribbon bar on the right hand side, green check mark, finish sketch. I'm going to use my extrude tool, and usually we've been extruding in a second direction to go away from us, but this one we need to extrude in our first direction, or the default direction here, in order to make that come out towards us. The distance that we're extruding that is 0.75, and then I'm going to click OK on this menu. Taking a look at our drawing again, we have a hole that's in the middle that goes all the way through, and it's 1 inch and through all. So let's do that as well. We're going to take a 2D sketch, place it on our top view, or top of our front view. And I'm going to use my point tool. I'm going to click a point at my origin, and then I'm going to green check mark, finish sketch. And using my hole tool once again, I'm going to come through. Now remember, it remembers that same dimension that we typed in last time. So I want to have a simple hole, no seat. It's going to go through all, and my diameter that I'm going to type in is 1 inch. Once I have those things changed, I'm going to select OK. And the next thing that I want to do is go up to my default. I'm going to click on default for my material type, and I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom and find yellow. Once I have it changed to yellow, I'm going to come up to the top in my ribbon bar to the orange file on the left hand side. I'm going to go down to Save As. I'm going to place this in my H drive, first initial last name 000. If this does not come up for you in here, click on the pull down menu, and you're going to pull down until you see your first initial last name 000, the gray box with the green line underneath of it. And we are going to call this bracket 1. Once I have the file name as bracket 1, I'm going to click Save. Great job. Next, you're going to be moving on to doing the standard .idw in order to turn into Google Classroom. Great job.